Welcome in to the Arkansas Sports Network's Hometown Sports Football Preview, proudly presented by Arkansas Tech University, D3 Auto Sales, and Metcalf Trucking and Trailer Repair. Today we sit down with Des Arc Eagles head coach Brandon Barbary. This pigskin preview is brought to you by Shelter Insurance agent Jason Jones.
All right, I'm here with Brandon Barbary, the head football coach here at Des Arc. Coach, last season you guys had a pretty successful season, but you did come up short probably of your expectation, of your goal of reaching the state championship. Des Arc's a pretty storied program. You look at all the banners up here that are above us, and a lot of history at this school. So tell me about what the culture is like here at Des Arc and kind of what the expectation is for your players when they put on that jersey on Friday nights.
Well, Des Arc's an isolated place, very isolated, but it's hugely community driven. Most of the people that come back, most of my coaches are from Des Arc. They come back, they bleed this green and believe in everything that we do as far as family, culture, school. This is it. This is our most important. And expectations are always high here just because we're used to competing at the end of the season and having a chance. And the last year we finished 8-4, second in the conference to a tough EPC team and ended up losing the state championship game. And we got a bad draw because we had to play Bigelow, who won it all. And our kids compete really hard. Our admin supports us. It's a great place to be. And we'll have the biggest numbers we've had and got 31 kids believing that they were going to go win one this year.
So you guys kind of run a unique offense. You run an option style offense. Talk to me a little bit about what goes into that offense. And, you guys are losing your quarterback, Cash Flanagan. He was a big part of your offense last year. So tell me about what your quarterback position is going to look like this year, replacing a senior, and what you guys are trying to do offensively.
Yeah, obviously with the big spread push for the past 15, 20 years almost, what we do gives people fits because they're not used to seeing it. But, our offense has just as much timing and the intricacies of what we do is different than everybody else in the state. But, we model our offense off of Harding University. Same exact offense. And it's very read-based. You put along the quarterback, like you said. Cash Flanagan was a big part of that. 2+ years of starting, gave us over 1,000 yards last year, gave us 20 touchdowns. He was huge. But I feel really good at where we're at. We've got a senior coming back, Walker Harris, who's been in the system his entire career. And then we have we'll be a sophomore, Hudson Goodman, and they're competing for a starting job. And like I said, Walker gives us a different dynamic than Hudson. And either way, we'll be fine offensively.
So tell me a little bit about working with some of the players here at Des Arc, what you guys do on a day-to-day basis as far as practice goes. It kind of, you feel, separates you guys from the pack?
Well, it's just the quality of work. We'll go 4 days a week, 2 hours a day during the summer, and our kids they show up, they work extremely hard. The reps are good or they're great instead of just being mediocre. There's not the jogging around and stuff, and our kids just give us what they have every day. And I feel like sometimes you go to places where kids are kind of giving you half of what they give. No, our 30 kids go out there and they bust it every day. And they bust it for me and they bust it for everybody in this town. And like I said, they're Des Arc kids. It's the first year we got a couple move-ins this year, but most of our roster are Des Arc kids, grew up in playing Pee Wee football here and believe in this place. And I think that the belief is the biggest part here.
So talk to me a little bit. You mentioned that most of these guys are Des Arc kids. Tell me about what the atmosphere is like here on Friday nights, how the town rallies around the team, and just the community aspect of Des Arc football.
Yeah, it's outstanding. Everybody's around the fence, and you can't get a seat. My wife has to stand up, which is even better, which is probably what she wants. But everybody's here. Town's going to shut down. All those Friday night lights you see, that's Des Arc. There's nothing open in town, and people are active. The people in the stands feel like they're in the game as much as the kids, and that's okay because I love that they want to be here, they support our kids, that they're emotionally involved in the game, and it's charging. It's very charged atmosphere whenever, especially those Carlisle Hazen big EPC games. big games, it is huge. So it's something different than most places.
So tell me a little bit about the relationship that you build with these kids. Talking a little bit more just about the Des Arc culture that we kind of talked about a little bit already. Tell me about how that brings a different aspect of just different relationships that you have with these kids and these families.
Yeah, I tell our kids, ultimately we want to win a state championship, sure, but my goal, and I want to say this to all of them, and I say it to them, is to make good men. And I think that's the most important thing. At the end of the day, when these guys are good fathers, good husbands, good workers, that's really our goals here. We're not all going to turn pro. We know that. I played the game too. I didn't go pro either. But we want to be good men at the end of the day. And I'm going to raise men. We don't give excuses. We don't give ways out. I think that's really important in today's culture, that we do that instead of selling us just a state championship. Well, if we get a state championship and all these guys aren't good husbands, then I didn't do my job. So, we're going to push for good people instead of just good football teams.
So tell me a little bit about where you guys see yourselves this year as far as being the contender. There's a couple of schools that people are kind of talking about in 2A right now, and it's Junction City's moving back down. They're going to be a challenging team. Conway Christian has a lot of seniors. They're going to be a challenging team. Bigelow has been there every year for the past 5 or 6 years or so, maybe longer. So tell me about where you guys see yourselves. Obviously, you guys play in maybe the toughest conference in 2A. So tell me about where you guys see yourselves as far as a championship contender.
Like anything else, you have to stay healthy during the season and still use your core values to everything. But yes, Mark Tree in our conference is going to be extremely tough. They return a D1 running back, a D1 linebacker. Then you have Cross County, new coach. Coach Pascal is going to be there. They're going to be extremely tough because they're going to run our offense as well. So, in our conference is going to be tough. And then, our non-conferences, we got to play Carlisle and Hazen. They've both been really successful the last few years. Hazen winning the state title, Carlisle going to the state championship 2 years ago. But, the state's really tough. Junction City moving down, we know the tradition they have. But, I'm a firm believer you take care of what you can take care of. Football season's a long season. As long as our 32 buy in, 31 buy in, then we're going to be successful. Just the breaks and how everything irons out at the end is just, it's not on us. We're going to give everything we have to be there.
So I talked to Coach Pasenkin at Hazen. I talked to Coach Wilson at Carlisle. They both say that kind of the Des Arc, Carlisle, Hazen rivalries are just special in their own way. Tell me about what those atmospheres are like specifically whenever you guys have a home game or even the road games, just how special they are to the community.
Yeah, just being so close. We're just so close. Everybody in Des Arc knows everybody in Hazen. Everybody in Des Arc knows everybody in Carlisle. And they've played football against each other. They do business with each other. But those Friday nights, there's not, I wouldn't say hatred, but there's that we want to beat you. And we want to beat you as bad as we can. And they feel the same way. But, it's different. I've coached at 5A, 6A level. I've seen the rivalries. You get down to 2A, it's real football rivalries. Like somebody's going to cry at the end of the night. Somebody's going to be real happy at the end of the night. And I think just 2A football special, just in general like that.
So tell me about some of your roster a little bit, some of your guys that you're going to be relying on to maybe be leaders for your team, guys that have a lot of experience, and maybe some guys who might not be a household name yet that fans don't really know about, but you think is going to have a really big season.
Yeah, we're blessed because, 2 years ago when I got here, we had 5 seniors and we started 2 freshmen. We started young guys. Everybody was young. Last year, we still started those same young guys, had 4 seniors. This year, we'll have 11 seniors on the football team. We'll have 9 starters returning on defense and 9 starters returning on offense. And we just have so many guys that have 20-something starts of high school football. So Davion Bell, college potential, 1,000-yard rusher last year. Heck of an athlete, going to be one of the best athletes in the conference and state for us. We've got Oakley Davenport, our center. Tremendous leadership ability, 25 starts in his career. We've got Chandler Dobbins, he'll be a junior, 25 starts. Ben Kirby, 25 starts. You can keep going down that list, and like Walker Harris, 25 starts, he's been here. Our guys have been here, played a bunch of big games already, and so for them on Friday night, it's just about the completion of what we want as a team, and I think we have a bunch of guys that can do that.
So tell me a little bit about, we've already talked about your offense a lot, but tell me about what you guys do defensively, maybe the physical aspect that you guys bring. Obviously, your offense is very physical because it's kind of a run the ball 100 times a game if you have to.
Yeah.
So tell me about just your defense and what your expectation is of that group.
Yeah, our goal as a defense is being physical up front, running to the football. That's my big thing, because a lot of times in this game now, it's not physical during practice as it used to be. You don't have the numbers to go live. But what you can always do is run to the football. And good things happen when you run the football. Best defense I've ever had were when 11 guys were tackling the ball. And I think that's what we're gonna harp on all summer. We're gonna push all summer. And just as these young guys get better, they've gotten stronger, they've gotten more physical, I think you'll see a big difference in how many points we give up this year from in the past, just because they're going to be more physical, they're going to be more confident, they're going to be stronger and get to that football.
So tell me about your relationship with this senior class specifically. We've talked a little bit about how much experience they have on the football field. Tell me just about your relationship with this class and what this class means to you.
Man, they're just a great group of kids. I've been their only head high school football coach, and I remember the first day I got here, they're like, "Are you going to leave?" And I said, "No, I'm not going to leave because I want to be here with you guys." And they're just good kids. They're all going to have great grades. They're all going to show up every day. I had one late the other day, and I'm going to laugh about it. Cole Eldridge is my guy. His first day he's ever been late, and he just saw it on his face, the disappointment. I said, "Hey, stuff happens. Stuff really does happen in life. I'm going to run you for it because there's the end of your excuse, but just they feel they're going to let me down if something bad happens." And it's not like that. I love them. I think they're tremendous kids. I've taken any of them as my own son just because they're that good of kids and that hard workers. And I think just being here every day, they're here every day. There's bonds that are created that way. And just knowing we're going to have high expectations, and they just kind of follow suit.
Tell me what you would want the identity of this football team to be, what you would want other coaches to come to you and say, "Man, you guys did this really well," or "You guys really excelled in this aspect of on the field, off the field," things like that.
I think at the end of the day, I want people to go, "Y'all just play so much harder than everybody else." And I know everybody says they play hard, but I want people to go, "Man, y'all just play so hard. Every play's hard. Every moment's hard." And then at the end of the day, we're going to shake hands and we're going to be good people walking out of the game. We don't want to be the push and shove after plays. We want to play hard through the whistles. We want to play physical through the whistles. And best compliment I ever had was, "Your guys just play so hard every play." And I think that's the best thing about coaching.
All right, last question for you, Coach. What would you guys have to do this season for you to be able to walk away and say, we did everything that we could, and for you to be able to, be able to sleep at night, per se?
Well, as long as these guys give me what they have every day. Like I said, breaks happen in football, bad breaks, good breaks. In between, I'll say it again, I want good people. If we can't win a state championship, I want us to push as far as we can, obviously, but I know this group of kids is capable of that, but I just want us to stay to those principles of being good people, showing up, working hard. I think that carries you farther in life than any win's ever going to. And that's what we're going to keep pushing. Just show up, work hard, no excuses on the way, and let's go.
All right. This has been an interview with Coach Brandon Barbary here at Des Arc. Coach, is there anything that you want to say about your program before we sign off?
It's the best place in the state. I love the community, love the admin, and I know our kids are as good of kids as anybody in the state, and really look forward to a great football season.
All right, I'm Carson Ward with Arkansas Sports Network. You can find Arkansas Sports Network on Facebook and YouTube.
Thanks again for joining us on the Arkansas Sports Network's Hometown Sports Football Preview. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the Arkansas Sports Network on YouTube to catch more previews and all the latest updates on your favorite teams.